Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
A security guard has revealed the heartbreaking final words of a young bottle shop worker who died in his arms after he was allegedly stabbed by a teenager. Declan Laverty, 20, was minutes away from finishing his shift at the Airport Tavern BWS drive-thru bottle shop in Jinjalai, Darwin, Northern Territory, just before 9 p.m. on March 19, 2023, when he was allegedly stabbed multiple times. Keith Karanoya, 19, allegedly stabbed Mr. Laverty multiple times after he was refused service and fled the scene in a blue 2014 Toyota Camry. Karanoya entered a not guilty plea on the basis of self-defense after police charged him with 1 count of murder and 1 count of aggravated robbery. During the second day of his murder trial on Tuesday, security guard Rafat Mahmood told the Supreme Court in Darwin he saw Mr. Laverty being stabbed. Mr. Mahmood told the jury he yelled at the worker to get back in here as he held open the shop staffroom door. The security guard desperately tried to save Mr. Laverty, who he said was laying next to the toilet and bleeding badly. He put his hand to me and said, "Rafat, save me," Mr. Mahmood told the court in a report by NT News. His eyes were getting bigger, he was bleeding from his mouth. He was suffocating, he couldn't breathe. Mr. Mahmood removed his shirt and used it to apply pressure to Mr. Laverty's wounds, before he began CPR. The security guard also told the jury he cried out for help before an older man entered the shop and said of Mr. Laverty, "Poor thing, he's gone." Paramedics arrived 4 minutes later after a customer who was inside the bottle shop during the alleged stabbing made a 000 call. Crystal Shuttleworth broke down in tears as her panicked 000 call was played for the jury. Ms. Shuttleworth was heard telling emergency services that Mr. Laverty was not okay and that he was losing consciousness. She was also heard reassuring Mr. Laverty, who was still responsive at the time, that an ambulance was on its way. Ms. Shuttleworth told the jury she felt uneasy the moment she drove into the car park at the bottle shop. She explained Karanoya was leering at her while urinating in the bushes outside the shop. As she entered the BWS, she spotted 3 other customers, a young indigenous man buying a slab of alcohol at the counter and another 2 leaving the cool room. It was then when the young man she saw outside entered the bottle shop and was baiting Mr. Laverty. It looked like he was enjoying being antagonistic. He was looking and smiling, Ms. Shuttleworth told the court. The deceased said to him, "Mate, you can't be in here with no shoes on." The young man got quite antagonistic about that and was challenging the deceased. She added Karanoya kept asking, "Why can't I, which caused Mr. Laverty to become visibly distressed and frustrated. Ms. Shuttleworth said Karanoya threatened Mr. Laverty, with Mr. Mahmood adding the 19-year-old said, "You white C*******, you can't tell me to get out. What if I came in and stabbed you?" Crown Prosecutor Marty Ost told the court Karanoya ran to his vehicle and allegedly armed himself with a large silver knife, described by witnesses as being the length of a ruler before returning to the store. The prosecution said Mr. Laverty pulled out a blade, measuring about 5 centimeters in length, from his back pocket and took off his shirt while an armed Karanoya approached. CCTV footage showed both men swiping at each other, before Karanoya was chased out of the store. Mr. Ost explained Karanoya made the first contact, which he described as an unsurvivable and fatal 10.5 centimeters stab wound to Mr. Laverty's heart. The worker also suffered a second 3.2 centimeters stab wound to the left side of his chest as well as 5 other smaller wounds to his face, head and shoulders, the Crown alleged. Mr. Ost said Karanoya suffered a small cut to the side of his face and a cut to his chest. Karanoya's defense barrister John Tippett told the court CCTV footage showed Mr. Laverty reached his hand to his back pocket where he kept his own knife. He told the court the footage showed his client acted in self-defense after Mr. Laverty produced his own weapon with enthusiasm and lunged at Karanoya. Customer Mandeep Singh, who was being served at the time of the attack, told the court on Tuesday Karanoya did not appear to be overly aggressive when